Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. I thank you for those of you that are tuning in today to join me for Shamanic Yoga. Tonight's practice is going to be around uncovering and clearing any illusion or fogginess that may have been around what we call our witness consciousness or our witness self, our higher perspective seeing self. So I'm going to wait a couple moments just to allow other people to pop on to join us. But again, tonight's practice around allowing ourselves to open to and broaden to that perspective and perception. I know it's interesting, over the weekend there was a lot of fog. At least there was in Fairport Harbor, and my mind feels like it was also in that fog. Hi, everybody. And I just want to integrate how that weather shift also might be playing its part within ourself as we are a part of this natural world and a part of the changes that are happening in the natural world. So today, I know when I was walking, and as the rains have subsided today, the fog has kind of cleared out. The electrical storms, we had some lightning and things in Fairport the last 4 or 5 days, on and off. There's that clearing, and I was walking down by the lake, and the wind was just ridiculously powerfully high and charged and fierce and cleansing. And the waves, same thing. The waves were singing their song. They were rolling like thunder. And on the crest of wave and wind, all of these ladybugs were coming in. And they were actual red ladybugs, not the little orange guys that can sometimes bite, but they were the red ladybugs. And ladybug totem is around miracle and prosperity and luck and worst behind you and all of that good stuff. So going to incorporate some of that into our witness self opening practice this evening. So again, have your space set up how you might like it, with cushions or blocks, yoga strap or a belt or tie of some kind if you need that assistance for stretching your legs maybe later, and a blanket for Shavasana. Anything else you might need, we'll start in just a second. So thank you. All right. You just be right there. Let's see how our lighting is. Okay, so concepts just to think about I'm going to be integrating today. When I was pulling cards from my Lakota deck, the Lakota spiritual practice, the card that came up multiple times was the card of we, the return of the sun, similar to what I was talking about earlier, like the clearing and the parting of the fog and the rain and the wind and the waters moving in to clear as that sunlight comes through. We is the Lakota word for sun, and it's also a word for self-empowerment. So I just love for you right now to take a couple breaths. I think I'm going to even ask you, if you're comfortable with it, to come on down to lie on your mat to begin. So just let your body come in contact with the earth so we can begin our cleansing and recharging right in her arms. So let yourself find your way down into that space of the earth. And I'm going to stay seated upright for just a few more moments and offer to you one chant or prayer for awakening and clearing out the mental fog, the mental clutter, the mental noise. Breathe deep now as you're resting your back and your body on the earth, sinking into her arms. Let yourself soften your face and your jaw. Let your tension melt from around your shoulders. Please feel free, if you like, to have your knees bent, your feet planted on the earth, windshield wipering your knees, rocking any tension out of your back. And just finding a comfortable way to rest with Mama Earth, with Maka. Lakota word for earth is Maka. I'm just going to share with you a Lakota chant of awakening, broadening perspective, a chant of transformation and metamorphosis, of going from the darkness of the night into the dawn of the new day, but not without struggle, you know. So nice deep breath here. Aho. So as you come into our practice this evening, let yourself again be resting in the arms of Mama Earth. Today about clearing the mental fog and carrying ourselves through the assistance of Spirit to our higher perspective, our higher plane of seeing and being. So again, I invite you to be down on the earth and maybe windshield wipering the legs once more, or taking any kind of massage to your low back, hugging your knees in, circling, sighing out your breath. I'm going to let you stay here working through some of the tension of the back body. Use that breath. Exhale. Good. And as you're exploring how the earth supports you right now, first of all, I'd love for you just to connect with her support. Grounding to this earth, we're going to allow ourselves just to grow our extremities into the air, starting with our arms and hands. Closing our eyes, let the arms and hands float up there in the sky. You might keep your legs shifting side to side, or you might be relaxing your legs. You make the choice and the call on how your legs want to express. But let your arms float, and if you have been buried under some kind of pressure or distraction or demands, exhale and offer up that pressure to Spirit right now. So as your eyes are closed, we call in the presence of our guides and our guardians, those who've come before us, our ancestors, in the direction of the north. Luta, the direction of the north, we're bringing in that ancestral support and guidance. Good. As your arms are floating, we're going to start to roll our shoulders down and back into the earth. So now my legs are still, and I'm just inhale, reaching my fingertips up. My shoulders lift up off the earth. Exhale, I roll my shoulders back into the ground. Inhale, shoulder blades lift as I reach up. My head stays relaxed down. Exhale, open up the mouth and jaw as you exhale. Oh, sigh it out, cleanse and clear. If you experienced any mental fogginess, any mental struggle, or maybe we got trapped behind a veil of illusion somewhere over the weekend or from the last tail end of last week into the start of this week, we're going to open ourselves to the elements of today now. To neon, the air, grandfather sky, to Mini, the waters of the earth and her waves, her tide, to Hanui, the moon as it shrinks toward its new moon phase, into darkness it goes, and to we, the beautiful sun who's made its return through the rainy days. Good, let your wings, your arms just start to melt to the floor for a moment, out in a big T shape. Now again, we're going to invite legs to windshield wiper, this time wider if we can, wider feet, with the emphasis of dropping knee toward the center line. Let your head turn away from your knees so we're integrating the cervical spine. If the knees drop right, drop or turn the head left and let it go back and forth. Deep, beautiful breath here. So whatever we have been, again, submerged with, hiding behind, or not realizing we've been immersed in, dragging around with us, we ask for the assistance of Spirit tonight to lift the veil and to fly us to higher heights, to see clearly the unfolding of our life. Trusting that all is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. Bringing your legs back to center. Take a huge breath in, our palms just facing upward. Huge cleansing breath, sigh it out. Big breath in. Exhale it. Tunkanshala is considered the air that we breathe in. The breath itself, Tunkanshala, meaning the Holy Spirit of God. Let it wash through you. Take 3 more conscious deep breaths, or even more. I just want to share an ancient Sanskrit sutra. And it says, as I breathe, I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. So breathe again and take in those words. I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. Big breath in again. Exhale, sigh with a tongue out. Once more, exhaling. We're going to invite the legs to float up. Pedal them around. See what's happening as you pedal the legs in space around your ankles. You might wiggle your feet or circle your ankles. You might take pedaling leg action, happy baby type leg action. And if you feel like you would like to express your arms up into the air as well and float all of your extremities, it is highly beneficial for reducing inflammation in your joints. Breathe deep. And the joints of the body, in a lot of Eastern philosophy as well as a lot of shamanic tradition, tied to the element of earth. The joints of the body can be tied and traced to grounding. So finding our earth connection here. A couple more moments. Inviting in the presence of Spirit to take from you whatever's too heavy and whatever we have been knowingly or unknowingly hauling around with us. Good. And now let your feet start to come to earth. Wash your palms together. Rub the palms together. Exhale. I want you to think about either forceful winds near a body of water or beautiful, immense tidal waves where the wind and the waves and even the action of the moon were all married together. And that is what this day has brought us, at least here in Northeast Ohio, next to Mama Lake Erie. We're just going to breathe and think about that washing sound of the wind in the air and the waters. Exhale out your mouth, making a fogging the window sound. Palms still rubbing together. Exhale out the mouth. One more breath. And as you exhale, let your palms come to rest on your face. Cup the palms over the eyes. If your legs would like to drop open in a natural shape or natural way to diamond, to a Baddha Konasana bound angle, let it happen. Sigh. Deep breath here. The action of cupping the hands over the face or the eyes, we can set an intention around washing clean and clear our senses that might be overloaded with stimuli or thoughts or emotions, processing. Or maybe it feels like we've had a disconnect from our senses if we've been overwhelmed with mental or emotional stuffs. So just let yourself exhale and clear the senses so that we can take in the beauty that is available to us in every moment. So we start again with this action of cupping the hands over the eyes. Go into your own internal universe here. Take a couple more breaths as you exhale, connecting with the sound of waves crashing against the tide of the earth, washing clear and cleansing shoreline, releasing negative ions to purify the air within you. Feeling breeze and space washing over you as well. And feel your back body rooting into the earth with a sense of joy and rejoice for returning to her support. The back body returning to her support. Melting your hands off your face now, if it feels right. Stretch your arms beautifully overhead like you're waking up. Legs are positioned any way that feels good in your body. I have my diamond legs. You could do any legs that suit you. Stretching, stretching, stretching. I might lean and stretch. Ooey gooey stretching. Breathe deep, sigh out the tension around the nooks and crannies of your shoulders, your ribs, your neck, your jaw. Horsey lip your breath. And then end with your elbows and little cactus arms bent on either side of your head. If your legs have been in diamond shape, bring your knees to point at the sky, our feet planted on Mama Earth here. May our practice be for renewing our entire battery of self today, for rerouting and reconnecting, not only to the earth, but to our higher consciousness, our witness perspective, our witness self, that's going to start to have beautiful revelation and realization about maybe how we've been doing during this course of time, seeing how it is serving us. Good. And as we're here now, as you exhale, start to curl your tail under so your glutes lift and curve off the earth. So my tail's curled under, my glutes lift.
Inhale, I release my spine back to Mama Earth. Exhale, curl glutes under. Inhale, melt the sacrum back to earth. Exhale, curl. So I'm just doing very small sacral pelvic curls. Exhale as we're rooting down. As I exhale, drilling through my heels. I can lift up my toes. Inhale, release. Few more. Exhale, soften your jaw. Take a big old open mouth exhalation. We've had a couple fantastic totems come back to this location of Northeast Ohio in the last couple of weeks, and one has been the mama ladybug, the red ladybird, symbol of the Virgin Mother, divine feminine return to earth, prosperity, abundance, miracles abounding, good fortune, ladybug. Love being present around you. One more. Good. Cleansing, clearing breath. Exhale. Now either leaving your arms up like little cactus elbows or bringing them down to your sides will be your choice for the next posture. As you exhale, press and lift your pelvis up and see if you can hold it for a few breaths. We want to maintain length in the back of the neck so we're not tucking our chin down. The cervical spine is long. Arms either on either side of the head or down at your sides, pushing into your palms or your elbows. Beautiful breath here, growing strong from the earth. The earth element that can strengthen us is the stone of the earth. Inyan is the stone of the earth. Inyan, the stones that support us, that hold us up, that we can gather some strength and structure from. The stone that can help us remove unnecessary pressure on ourselves and teach us how to reprioritize. Can you take 3 or 2 more breaths here with the stabilization in your SI joints? Your sacroiliac joints, very, very low back tailbone area. And now exhale, melt it back into Mama Earth. Arms up on either side of the head, big breath in, belly inflates like a balloon. Exhale, soften the jaw, relax the tongue, melt back into earth. Again, inhale, belly inflates. Exhale, melt everything. The other totem who's returned to these parts of Northeast Ohio in the last couple of weeks, you may have seen too, the Oriole. The Oriole signifying the worst is behind us in certain ways. Bringing back joy and joyful song to us because maybe we have learned a new rhythm that we are trying out. Maybe we have set down some new roots, and when we were setting those roots, it was difficult at first, but now we're starting to find our new place in things. So now as we exhale, we're going to press the ceiling away with our legs and our hands, and inhale, recoil. So when we work with our legs, we do not have to straighten them all the way, just exhaling and pushing the ceiling away, and push with our hands and inhale, melt. When you melt, it might feel good in your hips to go wide with your knees. That's your choice. Exhale, push away. You might be able to straighten your legs all the way. Inhale, but honor what you're feeling in your low back. Exhale from your mouth, push, push, push like it's 800 pounds you're lifting and pushing away. Inhale, melt, recoil with ease. Exhaling, I want you to breathe out from your mouth, so we're starting to engage the deeper layer of abdominal core tissue and strength. You hear my breath, it's like a ha. Inhale, melt. And I invite Inyan, the stone of the earth, to push away any of the unnecessary pressure I place upon myself. I invite Maka, Mother Earth, to support me through this time and to show me how my new roots are working for me as she helps me to open to my witness consciousness. Exhale, my place in the greater scheme of things right now. Push away the cluttered thinking. push away where you felt like there have been demands placed on you, or the overwhelm of new information, having to digest and take in new information and opinion. Just push that away. Use that lion's tongue. Go Couple more, everybody. Nurturing, nourishing our joints so they can support us in our beautiful bodies. One more fantastic breath here. And as you inhale, melt, melt, melt. How do your legs want to melt? Do they want to go back to bent leg position? Do they want to blossom open back to diamond legs? How do you want your arms to melt? Do they want to melt across your face, folding across you? Do they want to hug you? Do they want to be open? Where do your arms want to go? You're just letting the body come back into its natural, safe space. Deep breath, feel the belly rise. Exhale, belly sinks. So the blossoming open of the witness consciousness is like the metamorphosis of so many creatures. You know, we go through the period of struggle, deep struggle in ourselves, you know, and then one day we wake up and we start to have that cloud parting moment where the sun hits us, maybe literally, maybe just metaphorically, and we start to experience this, oh my goodness, I see my place in things now. I can recognize my strength and my courage as it's been blossoming in these days and weeks. I am so grateful. So let that start to maybe plant its seed self in your consciousness. How can you acknowledge and recognize your strengths right now and see your place in the greater scheme of things? Now we start to feel here, however you're resting, one energetic hand on one shoulder, another energetic hand on the other shoulder, maybe a hand on either one of your legs or hips, a set of hands at your head, maybe a set of hands near your feet. We have this guide connection, ancestor, assistant connection now coming in to us. And they say, yes, dear one, this is your space. This is your amazingness. This is the strength you've been cultivating with your new roots. And they start to sing victory cries, victory cheers for you. You're starting to see your amazingness, your courage. Breathe deep, inhaling now. Just stretch yourself to a big X. Beautiful X. We're awakening into this new light, into this new existence. Big, beautiful X. Oh, enjoy that stretch. Sigh it out. Inhale, really big stretch. Really, really big, like you're being pulled to the four corners of the earth, holding your breath, tightening your muscles. As you exhale, melt into earth and feel the steam of emotional tension, muscular tension rising off of you. Inhale. Tense, feel your guides and ancestors pulling up that stress, the heaviness, the burden. And then exhale, let it all just melt in a fantastic way. One more right here. Let your head rock side to side. Horsey lip out your jaw. All of this for realigning to our authentic self and our witness conscious self. Maybe some of our what we call like a lower consciousness self has been telling us all these fearful thoughts, or mine will often get me in a stuck place where I get to fatalistic thinking, where they'll say, oh, we're stuck in shamanism, in Lakota, this is iktomi, the spider wrapping you up in the web of fear. And we get stuck in our own web. And that's where I was this whole weekend, you know, and it's been on and off through the last, you know, forever, since I was born, I think. So we all got it. And then we all have these beautiful emergence times. So let yourself begin to emerge. We're going to start to come into our hips for just a moment, crossing our right ankle over the left knee here. As you go into right ankle over left knee, press that right knee open, make a triangle shape with your legs. I'm flexing my right ankle actively, and I'm going to start to practice twisted roots. So my arms are coming out to my sides, and I'm windshield wipering my knees. Like the twisted roots of the earth. Let's allow ourselves again to right here recognize what have been the new roots we have developed in the last month, 2 months, 3 months. I know a lot of us have learned new ways to connect, new ways to communicate. I know personally I have learned that communication is a huge and most important anchor and tool at this time, and I can't communicate enough to people in my life. Maybe our roots have been in gratitude and reprioritizing, seeing what really matters to us right now. And let's let those roots really take strong body hold in the earth right here. As you feel ready to do so, you might keep your legs over to one side and hold a twist, pressing the knee open. Oh, enjoy that. I'll even use, so if my right leg is crossed over my left, if I tip my legs to my left side, sometimes I'll put my right hand and just very gently push open that right leg as I hold the twist. It's totally optional. Relax your jaw. And maybe at some point when your internal timer or rhythm goes off, you can reverse that twist and just enjoy what that feels like. Twisting like the serpent too, and some of you might have been seeing there's a lot of beautiful little snakes coming out, the rat snakes. I mean, some people may not like snakes. I'm a friend of them, their wisdom, their beauty, their black rat snake or the garter snake, these lovely little creatures that dwell in our gardens, and they shed their layers and they don't ever go back to those layers, they just move on from them. Snakes symbolizing end of cycle, beginning of new cycle, and learning and acquiring the wisdom of each cycle. Good, and then as you're ready, when you feel right to do so, bring your legs center and offering a deeper stretch to your hips if you'd like. I might pull up my bottom leg to 90 degrees. Some of you might leave your foot planted on the earth, just pressing open the right knee more. If you do pick the bottom leg up to 90 degrees, you could reach your hands or yoga strap or dish towel around the back of your thigh and just gently pull the legs in for a deeper stretch. But maintain length in the back of your cervical spine there. The back of the neck is long. And just breathe, going right to the piriformis, right into the muscles that surround our sciatic nerve. And let yourself rock a little bit if you like. Or be still. Breathe here, this beautiful breath. Horsey lip the jaw out, la la la, or do like I call turkey tongue, la 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 la. Turkey tongue is very helpful, believe it or not, releasing that jaw tension. Turkeys are the other totem a lot of us have been seeing. I don't know if you've been catching glimpses of them lately, but they have been coming to pay visit. And turkey symbolizes intuitive opening, connecting to divine feminine, female power of trusting your guts over everything else. So maybe do a turkey tongue or two, the blah 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 blah. And as you do that, think about, how have your guts been speaking to you? How do you need to honor your guts? When the timer goes off around your hip space, let it go, let it melt, and windshield wiper again back into Mama Earth's arms. Get ooey gooey on the earth. I know I keep saying that a lot, but it's in that gooiness where we are reborn, where we transform, just like the caterpillar in the chrysalis before it becomes a butterfly. There's that whole systemic breakdown. You might relate to that. Before we acquire and rediscover our wings again and can enter into the sunlight. So maybe you're thinking about what things you've been breaking down, digesting and assimilating, you know. I know I've been in some internal closets in myself being like, oh boy, I'm in the goo, guys, I'm in the goo. Bring it back to center from your ooey gooiness. Smile. Take a breath, just take a minute again to reconnect to spirit before we go into our opposite hip. So in your grounded, realigned space, I always lay on the earth to realign myself, to recharge my batteries. So in this realigning space, I sense one guide on my right shoulder. Just imagine a guide, what it felt like for a loved one to touch and reassure you on your right shoulder. On your left shoulder as well, there's another hand. On the crown of your head is a pair of hands. On either hip, there's a pair of hands, or one hand on either hip. And there's a set of hands at your feet, anointing you, washing your feet, clearing, cleansing you from guilt and shame. Take a breath, connect here. And all of these guides are here to celebrate how the fog has lifted from this past weekend. The fog has shifted on out. The winds today cleanse us, the tides wash over us, the orioles, the ladybugs return to the earth, to our space. And they tell us to celebrate the new roots we have established. Celebrate. Now bringing your left ankle across your right knee in the triangle shape. There's the geometry I'm looking for. Sacred geometry of the triangle here. Left ankle over the right knee. We can start to choose to go into twisted root, letting your legs, windshield wiper, arms wherever is most comfortable. So, as we do twisted root, flex your left heel and foot actively. Press the left knee open. Let Mama Earth massage your sacrum. And as you do this, I want to share with you this beautiful writing I found today. And it had this lovely raven image around it, the crow. It says, Lilith came to me to help me understand something about the burden of shame. I saw myself lying down in a desert, a young one in white. On top of me was a big bag with something heavy in it. I couldn't move and I could hardly breathe, for shame was in that bag. Lilith stood beside me and told me that shame is passed on from generation to generation, and a lot of the shame I feel isn't even mine. So I'm going to pause the story for a minute. Let your legs be to one side for a few breaths, and eventually you could let your legs go to the other side. So some of that shame wasn't even mine. She asked me if I wanted to release it. The bag was so heavy. I said, yes, please help me. She said, call in Raven. And so I did. And a large group of raven flew to me and started to open the bag. Inside were seeds of shame. One by one, they took them out and flew away with them, and the bag got lighter and lighter until I was able to stand up. I thanked Lilith and the raven, and she told me, when a seed of shame is planted, it cannot blossom, for it is afraid to be anything. It is useless. You don't have to carry those seeds around, dear one. Just release them. Take a cleansing breath. If you haven't done legs from one side to the other, maybe take the legs, twist the other way. If you have already, bring your legs back to center. You can keep the right foot planted on the earth, pressing the left knee open more, or lift the right foot off the earth to 90 degrees and hug the back of the right thigh in with your hands, yoga strap, dish towel, whatever you need. And relax the back of your neck long, shoulders relaxing, jaw relaxing, horsey lip. Holding this piriformis stretch here, stretching open the muscles around the sciatic nerve, or rocking yourself lightly side to side. So Lilith and the raven coming to us today, that divine feminine and the raven or crow, to open up the bag of shame within us and to pull and lift the seeds, pulling them, taking them, flying them away from us one by one to lighten the load, to take it all away until we can stand back up. And so much of this isn't even ours as we're working through our ooey gooey closets of self-transformation. Take a couple cleansing breaths, dear friends. I'm alive with the electricity of breath. It realigns me, it renews me. The dynamic energy of my breath, Tumkanshala, the Holy Spirit of God, is my breath. Renews me and refreshes me. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. Good. And when you feel like maybe just a couple more breaths, clearing out the tension around your hip, where we store and belt in shame and guilt. It's said in Eastern medicine, when sacral chakra is out of whack, we're storing and holding old guilt and shame and putting that unnecessary pressure on ourselves. When we're fearing that we're not aligning with the expectation of others, let's shed those layers. And then as you release, we're going to do wide blossoming of the legs to happy baby. So I'm going to turn so you can see me. I'm wide-legged. And I'm just holding my hands around the backs of my thighs and just allowing my low back to be flat now. Okay? Knees are bent. Low back stays flat. And just rock yourself side to side a little bit if that feels right. So you go as wide as your legs say is comfortable. Oh, it feels so good. We're realigning and we're going to grow up from the arms of Mama Earth in just a moment. Take a horsey lip, go, or a turkey tongue, blah, 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 or a lion's breath. Tongue out and down. Fantastic. And plant your legs. Your legs can either be planted with feet on the earth or taking a mini Shavasana, legs extending out, your choice. Give yourself a little spinal wiggle wherever you are, okay? So you could be wiggling your tuchus, your tail feathers. Give them a little wiggle. Your shoulders might shimmy a little bit. Why are we wiggling, you might ask? It's beneficial for your central nervous system to help eliminate and reduce inflammation. Wiggling this way, and then I'm going to give you one more way to wiggle, I promise, and then we'll move up from the earth. Now the other way we're going to wiggle, with your legs extending, you're going to let yourself pump your feet up and down. So flexing and pointing your feet, it feels like my knees are softly bent, and you feel your spine and body going up and down, up and down. And close your eyes. This creates traction through the spine. Huge breath in and out. So we feel the babbling, bubbling brook of the earth rolling through our body. Mini, the waters of the earth. Mama Lake Erie has turbulent today. She is washing out something, cleansing. So let that move through you. One more breath. Huge breath in. Exhale, sigh, and then stop. Big breath in. Stretch and flex your feet, circle your ankles, circle your wrists. I love to open and close my fingers and toes after that. How many times a day can we give ourselves permission to wake up, reawaken, realign? It's such a beautiful practice. We don't get to do it enough. As you're ready, bring your feet in, knees bent, and we're just going to fetal position over to one side. Just rock to one side. Good. Press yourself up with your lovely hands and arms, honoring the wild animal of your body. And we're going to carry ourselves to hands and knees for a moment. I'm going to go sideways so you can see what I'm doing here. You could be on your elbows and knees or your hands and knees. Make sure you have adequate padding under your knees. Inhale, we're going to sway the spine. Exhale, round, just starting in gentle cat-cow. Why? Because it can really help on a neurological level. Cat-cow helps with reducing mental fog, and those of us that struggle with autoimmune disorders or anxiety overwhelm, PTSD and things, we need a lot of mental fog clearing. Inhale, sway, exhale, round. So it's all about today shedding our mental fog of that lower self-consciousness that tells us to be afraid and insecure and to question ourselves, and we're just going to shed those layers. So from your spine, when you round your back and exhale, feel wings sprouting out. Inhale, sway your back, exhale, your beautiful wings start to emerge and they hit the air. And it feels like they start to dry out and feel the air touching them. Good, and we're going to let ourselves now breathe some fire. So we're going to let ourselves inhale, hips shift back a little. So this is going to be inhalation, rounding back. Exhalation, I'm going to do a little cow back, and my tongue's going to go out and down. Inhalation, rounding back on my haunches. Exhale. Own that breath of fire. Inhale, exhale. Some of my friends at home might go into cobra or up dog too. Inhale, child if you like. If you want that range of motion, you can also go exhale, cobra or up dog if you would like that. Inhale, exhale, cow or cobra, and stick that tongue out and love every moment of it. Exhale, clean house, clear house, as you're this winged being now, and you're recognizing those old things that no longer serve you. And to help you with courage at home, I'm just going to stick my tongue right out at you. Exhale. Couple more. Clear it out. What is lion's breath good for? Not only getting things off our chest, but strengthening the immune system, the lung capacity, helping with reducing inflammation in the lymph nodes of the throat. Great for allergies and reducing allergens in the sinus nasal passages. One or two more, whatever you feel you need. One more, everybody. Enjoy it. Bring it on back. Let yourself take your child's pose and walk your arms gently to one side. So some of us in child's pose might keep our hips more elevated. That's okay. Walk your arms to one side. Feel the spinal opening. Relax your jaw. Horsey lip it out. Let your head try to relax. Walk it the other way. Over Mama Earth. Over Inyan, the stone of the earth. Where we find that support and where Inyan tells us, release the unnecessary pressure you put on yourself, dear one. I'm here to align you and realign you to your priorities and your new roots. So if you feel like you want to walk one way or the other again, allow for it. If not, bring it on back to center. Let yourself curl your toes under when you are ready to do so. Take it to downward facing dog. And walk the dog. Let yourself alternate rolling through the bottoms of the feet. You stay there. I'm just going to turn sideways. Release your head weight. Give your head a nod. Horsey lip that jaw out. Feel the wild animal of the body as you explore any movement or stillness you want to take in down dog. And if down dog doesn't have your name on it, go to child's pose or other resting positions. Now if you feel like you are able and ready, start to walk your feet to ragdoll. Forward fold. Bent legs hanging over. And in your forward fold of ragdoll, start to roll your shoulders back. So roll them back. Open up. Sigh out your exhalation. Sigh it out, make a sound. Not afraid to make the sounds if you can help it. Bend those knees, relax your shoulders, walk the fingertips out. Can you then walk them to one side so it feels like your hips are being pulled back and you're walking walking your fingers over to one side. Breathe deep, and can you walk the other way, just opening up those lateral back muscles. Bring it all into center. Rolling it up as you're ready, bending those knees to roll up. You could walk your hands up your thighs, let your head come up last. Coming to standing. Now as you come to your mountain pose, spreading your toes, soft knee bend, experience this new aligned physical self. Touch your fingertips together. Close your eyes. I'm going to read to you that Sanskrit sutra, and translated to English again, that applies to me. It embodies what Tunkanshala is. In Lakota Tunkanshala, it means the air that we breathe, or the breath, the air that connects us all. And Tunkanshala translates to the Holy Spirit. And can you imagine and take in that concept of every breath you are receiving is Holy Spirit of God coming into you. And the Sanskrit translation says, I am awake to the electricity of this life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Breathe that in. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. I just love that so much. Good. So now in your mountain, we're going to incorporate those tidal waves that I was seeing on the lake. So we're just going to inhale and just kind of reach to the sky gently. As you exhale, bending the knees slightly, arms come down, head bows. And then I inhale, reach it back up. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see my initial range of motion. I exhale, just a super teeny tiny knee bend. And I inhale up. And I'm going to bring that HA sound of my breath up, like I'm fogging up the window. Inhaling all the way up, exhale. Now, when you start to inhale up, press down actively through your feet and then see if you can contract your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, the root lock, like you're cutting off the flow of urine. And then exhale, you could release the pelvic floor or not. Keep holding. Inhale, push down into the feet, contract the pelvic floor. Exhale. Now, if you want to go with a bigger range of motion in your spine, you can undulate all the way forward, bending your knees. Push down to the four corners of your feet. Pelvic floor engaged as you grow back up. Exhale. This is all about realigning in our new beautiful roots. What roots have you acquired in the last month to 3 months? Roots of resiliency, roots of creativity, roots of seeing what is truly important to you. Inhale, push down through your feet, pelvic floor contracts. Exhale. Now, we're going to do 3 more rounds and see your guides pulling and plucking away the dross, the weeds, the things that no longer serve, the distractions, the demands, the pressure. The guides pull them away. The fears of the lower self consciousness. One more, enjoying this. Inhaling center, soft knees as you exhale, take crescent moon. My feet are melting into earth, my knees stay softly bent. Inhale, center. Exhale, my feet melt into earth as I tip the other way, crescent, knees stay soft. I still feel my pelvic floor contracted. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. I love to think of the rib cage that is a cage around my heart. And so that when I'm doing yoga, especially like this, I bring in that dynamic electric breath, that Tunkanshala, and I let it fill the cage around my heart. And anywhere I've been ensnared, anywhere I've been covered, defensive, blocked up, congested, we let the light, this spark, the electricity come in, the breath, the aliveness, the renew. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, those beautiful wings open or melt them in any way that feels good. You can make the drooly sound if you want. Inhale up. Exhale. Again, check in with this dynamic body. Inhale. How is it feeling from the roots up? Feel each toe rooting down, balls of the feet, heels, soft knees. 2 more breaths with our wings unfurling, or arms melting in a way that suits us. Horsey, lift the jaw out. Nice, touch the fingers, integration here. Hakini gesture of the hands, softening your glutes, knees soft, jaw soft, tongue soft. Let the realizations, the insights percolate up, electricity, electrify awakenings within you about what are these new realizations around what is important to you, around how amazing you are, how brave you are, around how resilient or creative you are. Can you let some of these things arise in you and give yourself a little bit of credit? Because this is where your roots are planted now, and let's not go back. Let's not go back if we can help it to the scared small thinking. Trust your guts like no tomorrow. Warrior of the heart, we're going to let ourselves, you might stand sideways on your mat, or if you're on a non-slip floor, you can be stepping off your mat on a front diagonal. Warrior of the heart. We're going to bring our hands to prayer. We're going to allow ourselves to step off to our front diagonal in a little mini warrior, and the arms open like big bird wings. We say, ha. It's like A-H. Inhale back to center. Prayer hands could align all the way to your third eye if you like. Exhale off to the other side. Ha. And you do make a ah sound. Ha. As it's a vowel sound that opens up the bija for the heart center. Ha. You could whisper your ah if your voice feels like it needs a quieter volume today. Ha. Some days, you know, the courage isn't there. I shouldn't say that. Some days the courage is there, but we got to be even more delicate with it because of wherever we are mentally. I feel like every day we get up to do this work, we're absolutely courageous. So wherever that courage is within you right now, let it fly, let it flap its wings. And start to connect with, if you've encountered ladybug energy, miracle, prosperity, luck, if you've encountered Oriole, the darkness behind us, the joy of the new roots establishing themselves, the color back to our life and our senses. Maybe you saw turkey vulture embracing change and transition, osprey, eagle, seeing and teaching us how to walk in balance between the realms of spiritual heaven and earthly plane stuff. Opening up our intuition. Few more. Let your heart sing with this. It should feel like this fantastic. I always feel like I'm singing when I do it. Reinvigorating, renewing with every breath, with every blessing of Tunkanshala. One more either side now. And if you feel like you've balanced your sides, just meet us at center. Mountain pose, hands in prayer at the third eye, and exhale, sigh out a huge breath. How do those new wings feel on you? Good. Take a moment just to integrate, breathe. And we'll start to shift our shift ourselves into just one more little heart opener. Two more things standing. Interlace your hands behind your back. I'm widening my stance here. My knees are bent. They're going to bend even more. And you can either just stay here with your stance. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. Just like this. You might hold a strap back there, a dish towel. We just want to feel our chest opening. Our sacrum is heavy. Our glutes are relaxed, so we're not swaying anything back. We're just keeping it all aligned. Toes are spread. And maybe we have the range of motion in the shoulders to lift the hands back a little bit up off the body. If that feels good, let it be there. You can stay just like this, either hands on the sacrum or hands lifted, or inviting you to do just a few more rounds of undulation into yoga mudra as you exhale, bowing it forward. Inhale, rolling it up. Now you may opt out of that and just stand tall, opening up the cage of your heart. So do what's right for you right now. So I'm still exhaling and I'm letting now the tidal waves, the big waves on Lake Erie today wash through me. And that gusty wind that was down there by the lake, and also that's a little softer up here on mainland, just wash through me, wash away those webs that I was stuck in, of iktomi, the fears, the self-doubt, the criticism that I placed on myself. And we're just picking ourselves up in the space of our new roots to continue to try again and grow in the strength of where we are. Can you do 2 more breaths? Wherever you're working. And if you are playing in yoga mudra, after this next breath, if you want to hang forward with it with bent legs, please feel free. Give your head a little nod or exploration, horsey lip. If we're standing tall, if your hands say, release me please, then release them and just stand tall. Take a couple moments wherever you're at. And when you want to release yoga mudra, let your arms drop and climb yourself back up your thighs. Rolling up to mountain. Beautiful. We're going to shake out our legs, shake out our arms. Give it all a shake out. It's that central nervous system shake out. Again, we see animals do the central nervous system shake out, and as human beings, we have omitted it from our practice. It's interesting, as our brain developed, we kind of stopped the central nervous system shakeout, but little kids will still try to do it when they feel anxious. As adults, we tell ourselves it's not socially acceptable. But we'll see deers, we'll see dogs, cats, birds, all do the at some point as a response to something overwhelming. So know that that's what they're doing. It helps to calm the central nervous system and take the brain out of fight, flight, freeze mode. It's real interesting. So after you shake out, just come back to mountain one more time. We're going to let ourselves root down through our feet and start to prepare for a shrub posture in the low body. So my right heel is coming to the inside of my left ankle. My right heel to the inside of my left ankle. And I'm going to bring my hands into a triangle shape. So if you can see my triangle here. And I'm going to let that triangle lens rise up above my third eye center. And I'm going to let myself try to focus up through the triangle. Now if that's challenging, bring your eyes to a lower focal point. This is a gesture from South American, this is the stance, South American shamanism for clearing the fog. And it was done by the people on the mountaintop in the morning when they were in the mountains. The fog would be very heavy through the rural areas and the valleys. And this was done to clear the fog for the mind. Those of you now more challenged, you could go to a little bit of a tree pose balance. You can look up through that lens, the triangle lens over the head if you like. And you want to imagine a ray of sunlight coming right into your third eye center or crown and just washing all the way down through your body. Deep breath in and out, relaxing your jaw and still trying to soften and relax your shoulders as you're here. Deep breath. Gesture of the morning sun. Cleansing, clearing, broadening our perception and our perspective. Where we were once stuck, we are no longer. And we start to celebrate and realize our strengths that have been born through this period of time, aligning with our new roots. Planting that right foot back on the earth. Inhale, lengthen up. As you exhale, break the hands apart, called parting the clouds. Mapia, and let your arms melt down. Inhale all the way up, bring that triangle gesture all the way up. Exhale, sigh, part the clouds. It's like a little burst of energy opening up there at the top. Inhale up. Push down through your feet as you inhale up. Exhale, melt. We're gonna do that twice more. So as you inhale up, push down through your feet, activate, contract the pelvic floor. Exhale, feel the clouds parting. One more, inhale all the way up. When you see and feel the clouds part, see an eagle up there, just soaring across the sky. Beautiful broad wings. Shift your weight into your right side. Place your left heel on the inside of your right ankle, or reverse it however you need to. So my left heel is on the inside of my right ankle. I am finding my triangle lens, and I'm going to slowly lift it to the space above my third eye. Elbows are bent, and I'm able to keep my shoulders and jaw relaxed. Maybe I can focus my eyes up through that lens. Maybe I can even close them, depending. Closing is really hard, just know that. Seeing a light coming through that lens, washing through my third eye and crown and all the way down through my entire being and my roots, helping us to identify the small stuff. Maybe if you want more challenge, you're going to that small tree pose, foot on the inside of the calf muscle. Do not put your foot in direct pressure of your knee. Keep it off your knee. Breathe here. Parting the fog, letting the light of the higher self, the witness consciousness, spread through every cell of your body. Big breath in. Big breath out, Tunkanshala, electrifying every cell, every awareness. Renewing with every breath. Smile. Good. And when you're ready, release that foot. Exhale to part the clouds with a big breath. Inhale up your center line. Exhale. As you inhale up your center line, push down through every toe ball, the foot heel, pelvic floor contracts, Mula Bandha. 2 more. Activating pelvic floor helps relieve back pain and hip pain when we get that strong pelvic floor connection. All the way up, pushing down through our feet. Exhale. Now circle your wrist. Horsey lip your jaw. Blah, blah, blah. Turkey tongue, turkey tongue. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you can laugh with that. Shake it out. Do your shaky central nervous system release dance. Let that little child self come alive. That one that knows that you're magical, that believes in magic, that witnesses magic, and whose eyes see everything for the first time. Let that come alive in you. A couple more breaths. And then just notice how you feel as you stand in mountain pose. Take a moment to, again, ensure that the weight of our life and our mindset and our world hasn't really pressed us down. Let's inhale, shrug your shoulders to your ears. Exhale, sigh and roll them back, and do that just a couple more times. Just inhale. We want to ensure that the weight is removed. So close your eyes with this connection and let spirit pull away the heavy layers. Again, anything else that might have been compressing you down, making you feel small. Just feel spirit pull it on off. Those weights are gone. You got your wings. One more breath, and we're going to leave the shoulders back and down, chest broad and open, relaxed glutes, pelvis just hanging, soft knees. Notice how you feel as you breathe into both lobes of your lungs, soften your jaw and your tongue. Aligned with the witness consciousness, with the witness self. Take just a moment to look back over the last few days, and what have you really had an aha moment, a eureka moment, oh my gosh, I'm doing okay. I'm honoring myself in the ways that I need to, or I'm having an understanding now in some way as to how I fit into this space. And start to feel gratitude. I know, again, we've been learning a lot about new ways to communicate, new ways to be creative and resilient, new connections, new priorities. So just honor what has been right and know that you've been doing an amazing job. Rolling ourselves down through the spine when you're ready. Head, shoulders, ribs start to melt to ragdoll. See if as you can get a little bit lower, could you widen your feet and legs a little bit, or a lot, your choice. Could you give your torso opportunity to sway or swing, bent knees as much as you like, or walking those arms and hands out in front, pawing the earth from side to side, like little wolf paws, or like a pacing cat, like a panther, a cheetah. What do you feel? Re-empowering the self, coming back to our power, remembering who we are. And now as this wider leg stance, could you alternate bending one knee and straightening the opposite? So my hands are on the earth. You could also have your hands up on your thighs if you need to come off the earth. Bending one knee, pressing one hip down a bit, and then switching. If that feels good to you, you can stay on one side and just open up the groin, the hamstring, horsey lip the jaw. You could also be fingertips on the earth, pawing the floor. Really working into our root chakra here, our new roots. Good, and then gradually climb yourself back to down dog, and we're gonna offer just a twisted dog, bending our knees. I'm gonna go sideways. You're high on the balls of your feet with your knees bent, and gently swivel your knees to one side. You'll feel opening through deep side back muscles, intercostal muscles around your ribs, lats. Breathe. Ah, sigh. Twist it the other way. Ah, sigh. Bring it back to center. Any other expression of down dog, let it happen if you want, or start to bring your knees down to the earth. Good. Your choice to either come into a little sphinx pose or an extended puppy dog or child. So child, our hips are back toward our heels. Puppy dog, we lift up our hips, anahatasana, the heart posture, and we press the heart toward the earth as best we can. Doesn't have to be a lot, doesn't have to be for a long time. And of course, Sphinx pose is out on our belly, on our elbows like the great Sphinx, pressing our pubic bone down, lengthening this torso forward and then upward. Breathe wherever you choose to be, and maybe you're exploring all of those postures. Do what feels right. Horsey lip your jaw. In any of those postures, you can explore movement or stillness. Good. And then as you feel ready to release wherever you are, we're going to start to come back to our back. So again, this is your own yogi choice timing. We're going to let ourselves come back onto our backs. And if you have a strap, you can grab it. If you don't have a strap, you don't need to worry about it. But I'm just strapping the bottom of my right foot up and my knees bent, and I'm just going to let that leg circle around in a fantastic way, opening up all the nooks and crannies. And you can reverse that circle at any time. Without the strap, it's just a fantastic, lovely leg circle, as big as you want or as small as you want. It's not necessarily about a straight leg unless you want more hamstring stretch. So if you want more hamstring stretch, you can straighten the leg, but don't lock your knee. My pelvis and sacrum is rocking side to side with this action, so they can travel around. The earth can massage your glutes, your sacrum, your back. Again, reversing that circle if you haven't yet. Let your jaw soften now. So if you've been doing the posture with your jaw, just spit that out. Oh, you are creating this beautiful new space. Space for curiosity, that's the key word. Not fear, curiosity. When new things come our way, when an abundance of new things come our way, new ways of living and thinking and having to do things and new ways to live our daily life, how can we be curious with it all? If you'd like to pause with your leg at any particular location along that circular pathway, centered, open to the side, or across the body, do that. See what you need. Yogi's choice here as we're winding ourselves down. I'm here at the studio, of course you know that, but I hear our stampede of wild buffalo in the hallway. They're still here. So if you've never been to the studio, there's some like trolley cart things that go up and down the hallways, and it's like a rumbling of hooves. So when you would like to release that right side or the first side you've been working with, send it on down to the earth only when you're ready. If your body says, I need you to work longer with that side, then you listen to it. But if you feel ready to switch it over to the opposite side, let that happen. And we'll send that left leg or opposite leg around in a beautiful spiral shape. In shamanism, they say the path is never linear. It's not even a staircase. It's always a spiral. It's always a spiral. Going back to the layers that we thought we once healed to learn and acquire more wisdom from those ooey gooey parts, from those closets that we think that we've cleared out. The path is a spiral, and it's that every single full moon illuminates old layers of healing that we thought we've already dealt with. Isn't that fun? It is. So reverse. Never a dull moment. Reversing that path if you haven't yet. As you spiral the leg in the way that feels right to you, remember, we can start to stop the leg at any point in the path and stretch it, either out to the side or up above, straight up, or across the body like a twist. Do what feels right to you. And in your mind, can you close the eyes and just imagine eagle flying up above, or oriole, the Baltimore Orioles, the orchard orioles, those black and orange birds, or ladybug, those beautiful red ladybugs. All signs of miracle and perseverance paying off, and the fruits of our faith paying off. The hardship behind us, learning the new abundance of the roots we're planting. Bringing song and laughter back to our lives. Finding the freedom within. So again, when that left leg or this opposite leg you've been working with wants to release back to earth, allow for it. If you have a yoga block or a pillow or even a rolled blanket at home, bring it out for me if you could. I'm windshield wipering my legs once more. I'm just going to let the front of my psoas muscle start to open, so we're going to lift up the hips a touch and slide the prop right underneath your glutes, right underneath your sacrum, your tailbone. If you'd like, let your arms rest up overhead. Horsey lip your jaw. If it feels safe to you, you can slide your right heel out. Maybe you can also extend and slide your left heel out, maybe not. So you're giving your body the option, either one leg bent, one extended, or both, or diamond legs. And sigh here. about that beautiful writing about Lilith and the raven. Lilith telling us to call upon the raven to come take the heaviness of shame away from us. And that most of the shame that we know, not even really ours, from our ancestral line, we hold the weight of the shame. And the ravens come and open this bag that's pressing down upon us, and as they do, we see it's filled with seeds that will not bear fruit. They cannot because of fear. And the ravens fly those seeds away from us until we're able to stand up again and root and grow into our own power, free from shame, some of the shame again that isn't even ours, standing tall and alive, inhaling the breath that renews us over and over with the electricity of life. Nature is wild and serene, and so are we. Now, if your hips are elevated, feel free to either stay like that for the rest of Shavasana and final relaxation, or bring your hips back down and take any last movements or stretches that you like to prepare. Something, if you've never tried it, that I'll do at home often is I'll put my yoga block or a pillow or blanket right on my belly, and I'll let my fingers or hands lightly rest there. And that's how I'll stay for my Shavasana. It is fantastically comforting, and it actually helps with oxytocin release in the brain. So if you would like to explore that, sometimes people even like it on their heart center. You don't need much weight. So play with that if you like. Or set yourself up for any comfortable final rest. If you feel the need to massage out your neck or shoulders or take any other wiggles, please feel free. And let yourself find that breath again. The cards that came up together around what was blossoming for us all tonight. Our connection to Source, Wakantanka, remembering that we are our own creator of this reality. We are the dreamers that create our lives, and we can also create the nightmares that we dwell in. So walking the path with awareness, knowing when to retreat and honor our spirit and our weariness when we need to. And just like we did tonight, realigning to our source, to our Wakantanka within, our creative source. Letting ourselves connect with our guts. Unchi is the female power, like the grandmother energy in Lakota. It means trust your guts no matter what. Now more than ever, do what your guts say is right. Trust them. And trust your emotions as they are an expression of your intuition, like the waters that flow rapidly today through the rivers and on the lake. We have the support of Inyan, the bones and stone of Mother Earth beneath us at all time. Ground with her. Let her help you free yourselves from the pressures you might unknowingly or knowingly place upon yourself and reprioritize into this moment. And from there the beauty grows in Takuye Oyasin, respect for ourself. Transformation. This broadening of our perception and perspective where we fly up above the fogginess, the fear self, the lower consciousness, and we experience witness consciousness like we're on the wings of the ego, looking down at our life, at all the small stuff, the insignificant stuff, And we see how we've beautifully adapted and created new adaptations and roots, and where those roots will take us and the abundance that will flow from them. So breathe into that because you deserve it so deeply. And from that comes we. The sun returns and your personal power comes back as you are realigned to what is true, to this witness consciousness, to this high self flowing through you. And from there, the white buffalo card comes to us. Miracles abound, just like the ladybug that came to me over the air and the waves today. We're symbolizing miracles, prosperity, hard work of faith paying off, the softening of the fears, moving to the past, waking up into new color, life, and light, because you're grounded in your roots, resting here in all of this.
resting, allow yourself to deepen the breath. You might swallow in your throat. I am awake to the electricity of life. The dynamic power of breath is renewing me moment by moment. Nature is wild and serene, and so am I. Stretching your body however you feel is right to wake up into the space. Eventually rolling to rest on one side if you have been lying on the earth, resting in the fetal position for just a few breaths, and working your way up to a comfortable seat in your own timing. And when you're ready to do so, again, don't rush if you're not, but if you're ready, we're going to bring our hands over the heart center in the gesture of the sacred eagle, one palm pressing into the chest, stacking the other on top, spreading the fingers like wings. Sitting regally tall, beautifully tall. Feeling aligned with your new roots, your purpose, your sense of self. Looking at this course of your life with witness consciousness, recognizing what is small, what is insignificant, and what truly matters, and how amazing your certain adaptations and resiliency has been, your courage, your stamina, your determination, as well as the honoring of what you need on a day-to-day basis. So thank yourself. Thank our guides, our guardians who have worked with us this evening. Thanking Spirit. Thanking the presence and energy of one another, our circle community. Thank you all. Inhale, reaching to the sky, thinking the words Father, Sky. As you exhale, let the arms melt, opening to the beauty of your life. Thinking the words Mother Earth as your fingertips go toward her surface. Bringing your hands to prayer in front of your heart center, bowing to yourself. Thinking the words, I am listening. As you exhale again, bow the head. Beauty before us and beauty behind us. Beauty above us and beauty below us. We are learning to speak, think, and perform acts of beauty. And we are awakening to the beauty all around us and within us. For in beauty it was started, and in beauty it is finished. In beauty, it is finished. Thank you so very much for practicing with me this evening, and I thank you for your amazing support and your trust and your exploration. And namaste. Thank you. In about 15 minutes, I don't mean to rush into these words, but in about 15 minutes, we're going to do 30 minutes of guided shamanic journey, some with me talking to you and some just the drum. We'll have live drumming, 1 and 2 drums that we'll explore. So if you would like to, come on back around 8, maybe get ready for bedtime. I don't know what you do in the evening, but to wind on down. And I thank you again. Have a beautiful evening.